Hi, you guys. I actually want to talk about something really scary that happened yesterday evening, and I just wasn't in the right mind to talk about it while it was going on, and my baby needed me, so I waited until everybody's doing good today. They are playing like nothing ever happened, but last night around 6 p.m., my 3-year-old had a febrile seizure, which was the first time that had ever happened. It was due to his temperature getting way too high, and his little body was trying to reset itself and fight it. So I'll give a little background. Yesterday he woke up completely fine. We went to Walmart and I realized there's a school bus passing. But I realized halfway through Walmart, I looked over at him and he just kind of looked a little glassy-eyed, and under his eyes looked a little dark. And I told my husband, I was like, do you think he's all right? And my husband was like, maybe he is acting a little weird. And we got the boys a little cup of popcorn chicken at the deli, and they usually fight over it, and he didn't want anything to do with it. So I was like, okay, yeah, he's not acting right. We got home, it was about 1:30, and he started running a low grade, and so I gave him Tylenol around 2:30, and my husband went to work because we were like, okay, might as well you go to work and I'm just gonna watch movies and take care of them, and we're just gonna take it easy since he's not feeling well. Well, at about 4, he had kind of dozed off and on for about 2 hours, and I was like trying to keep his temperature under control by taking his clothes off and just letting him be in his underwear, and then just kind of monitoring him, making sure that he was all right, because this has never happened before. And I brought him outside during my live yesterday and just sat with him, and he slept on my chest. Like, he was pretty much sleeping all day yesterday, and he just kept getting warmer and warmer. And it had only been about 3 hours since I gave him medicine, or almost 4 hours because it was almost 6. So I was gonna give him medicine in just about 30 minutes. I had him upstairs, and I went to go, the bus is passing again. I went to go run him a little bubble bath, a lukewarm bath, because I noticed him getting a lot warmer. He's feeling so much better. But I went upstairs to get his clothes. I was running his water, kind of going back and forth, letting him rest on the couch. And I turned off the water, and I went back up the stairs to get him. And this is trigger warning for anybody, because it's really scary stuff. But he was convulsing and pretty much unconscious, and his eyes were rolled back, and he was completely red, and he wasn't breathing. And it was super scary. My 5-year-old, I had told him already, hey, go play Minecraft a little bit in mommy's room. I'm gonna give Diego a bath. He's starting to feel really bad, and just let me do that, and then I'll make you dinner. So that was the plan, but I'm glad that he was somewhere else and didn't see that, and I was only away from him for less than a minute, and I felt guilty about that, but I don't think I could have stopped it, whether I was beside him or not. His little body was just under so much stress, and so I called 911 right away, and I had left my phone downstairs at the bathroom, and I put him in my arms, and I was getting my phone, calling 911, and going back upstairs to the front door, so when the dispatchers come, I would be right at the door. And it felt like a lifetime. He wasn't responding to me. He kept closing his eyes or barely having them open, and he wasn't crying. He was just kind of making a little bitty moaning sound, but for a minute there before the EMS came, his chest wasn't moving at all, and he was just out of it. So that was the worst moment of my life because my husband was at work. His phone's in his locker until 7:30. It was only like 6:15. My aunt lives close by. I was able to call EMS first, get them on their way, and once they got in the house, I called my aunt to come get my 5-year-old, who was not sick. I know he could have been carrying the germs, but I didn't have a choice. I called her because she's literally right down the road from me, and she came and got my oldest, and I rode in the ambulance with Diego, and he was okay. Once he got in the ambulance and they were checking his vitals and different things, he started crying and realizing that I wasn't there beside of him, and we rode in the ambulance. And when we got to the hospital, I said he needs medicine. I was about to give him some, and so he does not have medicine in his system. And so they gave him Tylenol through the mouth and ibuprofen rectally, just to distinguish that fever really quick. And they monitored us for about 2 hours. But it was just really, really scary. And his internal temperature, which they did it rectally as well, his internal temperature was 104.9. And so I had checked it that way less than an hour before, and it was 101.2 or something. So it had climbed super high, super fast, and his body could not keep up. And so we stayed in the hospital for a while, and they monitored him, and he slept on my chest while the medicine started working. And I just had a moment alone with God and him, because they left us alone for a little while and turned the low lights on, or turned the big light off. We had a little bit of light, and we had a call button just in case. But they were so busy with so many people having the same kind of issues. And so I'm glad that we had our own room instead of a shared room. But yeah, he kind of slept, and then after about, I'd say an hour, he kind of woke up and started talking to me and asking me questions, and like talking to the nurses if they did come in, and they let us go. And I was honestly scared, really scared to come back home. But my uncle, my aunt stayed with her kids and JJ, and my uncle came and got me at the ER and brought me back home with Diego, and we were doing a lot better. But the only thing is, when I went to go put him, if you have emetophobia, you can turn this off, the fear of vomit or anything, because this is gross too. When I got him home, I was gonna wash us both up and shower and everything, and we got through the bathroom door, and he held onto his stomach and started crying, and he just let her rip. I don't know if it was because of the seizure that he had or because of the virus, because it was negative for COVID, flu, and RSV. So I feel like it was probably some kind of stomach virus. And so he woke up hungry, feeling great. My 5-year-old still feeling great. I know that there is a potential of the rest of us getting sick, but I think the worst is over for our family, as far as hopefully the rest of us will be able to handle it a little bit better. But yeah, it was really, really scary. Me and him camped out down here in the sunroom. I turned the heater on for us, and we laid on the floor just in case. And my son JJ actually slept in the bed in my spot that I usually sleep with his dad, and we just all stayed together and comforted each other. And I felt very blessed that JJ did not see that happen to his brother, because it would have been really traumatizing for him, because every time I close my eyes, I just see him non-responsive, and that kills me. But he's doing great today, and I hear them playing. Anytime there's any silence, I run to my kids, and they're fine. But that's what happened yesterday. I was downstairs, like finishing the bath, kind of taking my time a little bit, and then I was like realizing I wasn't hearing anything. And that's when I went back upstairs, and he was seizing. And I have never wanted to hear my child whine or cry or just do anything more than that moment. And I never want to feel that way again. And so okay, now they're fighting, so I know that they're back to normal. But yeah, that's just what went down. And I will talk to you guys soon. I'll probably do a live later. Little recap saying how today has been. But thank you guys for listening.